right, welcome back, everyone, for a new episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comic books coming out this November 27th, 2024. I'm going to give you a rundown of all the books I'm looking forward to reading, some books that have some buzz on them, some incentive variants that might be selling for a premium already, and generally just the things you should be on the lookout for when you hit up your shop this Wednesday to pick up your books. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And for those of you interested in things outside of just comic books, take a look at my Toy Informer channel. The link is also below. Make sure you give it a subscribe as well. And I'm going to cover things such as toys, collectible video games, cards, oddball things like sneakers, Halloween masks, etc. Any sort of collectible that's not a comic book is basically covered over on that channel. So give it a look-see if you're interested. But if you're just here for the comics for this new Comic Book Wednesday, no problem. I will get to those in just a few seconds. Just hang on after the intro, all right? Okay, starting off like we do every week with my personal picks. These are my top of the pile, things I'm looking forward to most. Can't wait to check out come this Wednesday. And I'm going to start with what was my favorite of the three absolute DC books, Absolute Wonder Woman #2. I'm just being real. I enjoyed Wonder Woman more than Superman and Batman as far as the absolute story goes. I just liked the story. I thought it was interesting. It made Wonder Woman interesting to me. And she hasn't been an interesting character to me in a while. So I will just put it that way. That said, issue 2 is coming out this week with various covers. This is the cover A. We have a few other really cool covers here, including a Stephanie Hans there in the middle. I dig the one on the left there with the smoky kind of watercolor drippy kind of vibe. And then there is the is it a Michael Cho? I can't remember who did that third one. I'm sorry, I forgot the artist on the third one, but those are the other open order cover options for you. And then we do have 2 incentive variants, including a virgin version of that Hans at a 1 in 50, and there's also a 1 in 25 that is pretty nice as well. Also, make sure you check out my weekly shorts where I pick my top 5 covers. I'm now splitting them between regular and variants, so this way it'll be 5 regular covers and 5 variants. In cases where there's a variant, incentive variant that's just a virgin version of the trade dress, I'm just going to pick the trade dress. The virgin won't be eligible for the variants. Like it's trade dress. If there's a trade dress version, that's the one that's going to be judged by. Because I decided to separate them, split them. Otherwise, you'd see a lot of duplicates, and that's not all that interesting. So with that all said, if you're not worried about my shorts, don't worry about it. But I think they're fun, and hopefully you check them out. But with that said, another DC book that's near the top of the pile, which is surprising how many DC books lately are moving to the top of my read list. But this week, I am looking forward to checking out Justice League Unlimited. I know part of me is just interested because of the title, and it reminds me of the cartoon from back in the day, which was awesome. So, yeah, that's kind of my draw. Apart from the fact that they are doing some interesting things with some of the characters in DC. We got Hush 2 coming, so apparently there's a prelude in that as well to kind of look forward to. I'm just curious to see where we go from here. Multiple covers here as well. This is the cover A. We've got a lot of options. So Jim Lee there in the middle. We got another option there. And I don't want to spend too much time because we got more here. Look, we got here, bang, bang, bang. We got some wraparounds even. So yes, the Bianchi in the middle, but there on the side, that is actually a wraparound. So here, let me show you the wraparound. Boom. There you go. Kind of a throwback. That's Ed Bennis. That's kind of a throwback. Remember the other Justice League covers that were like that? The Justice League of America, the one from like 2010, I want to say. Back in the earlier 2000s. But yeah, we're not done. We still got more. Then we got blanks for you. We got another Jim Lee for you. And we got a foil. And that foil is yet another wraparound cover. So you got another one right there with the wraparound. And it's all shiny foil covering most of the heroes there. Then we have the incentives. So going with the incentives, we got 1 in 25s, we got 1 in 100s, we got 1 in 150s, and that 1 in 150 is, yes, you guessed it, another wraparound cover. So tons of options here, including going back to that second Jim Lee cover option, a 1 in 250. Which, as you can see here, this is almost, I don't want to say black and white because it's not. There's a touch of color in there. It's almost like a watercolor version. It's kind of a harkening back to when Jim Lee was doing his best Frank Miller Sin City impersonations. Remember? And he was doing like Deathstroke and stuff. That's what this vibe reminds me of with this era or this art style for Jim Lee, which I do like. I do like. It's a different touch. But with that, we're going to look at this 1 in 250 and see what the pre-sale market is doing. So far, with this 1 in 250, we've seen a couple of early pre-sales going above ratio, 300, 350. I didn't go and check any of accepted prices if they're less than that. So we can just leave those marks there for now and leave it open to consideration. But the asking prices for the ones that are available right now are $500 and $700. I get it. Not a lot of shops are going to order 250 copies of this book. And I also get it that this is a Jim Lee cover and it is Jim Lee doing Hush again. So I do imagine there's quite a bit of interest and quite a few extra dollars in play. But that's a lot of money. Just saying, that's a lot of money. So I won't be buying. And I'll be fine with that colorized version of this same cover by Jim Lee. I might even buy both Jim Lee covers. I hate multiple buys on the same book because comic books are not cheap these days, and I usually just try to pick my favorite cover and just go with it. But sometimes, exceptions get made because there are multiple great covers, and then I just buy books just because I really like covers. I want to have one of each. Hey, I'll admit it. I know a lot of us do that, though. With that said, Marvel shouldn't be left out of the conversation because despite the fact that this storyline feels like it might have been dragging a little bit too long, I'm still looking forward to the 800th issue. I shouldn't say episode. 800th issue of The Incredible Hulk. So big doings are supposed to be in play here. So let's see if the storyline pays off at this point. But this is a giant size 800th issue. So we will see where Philip Kennedy Johnson's been taking us on this ride. So looking forward to that. And there's some backup stories in here as well that are probably pretty cool. So here's the cover A. We got a couple other cover options here as well. I kind of dig that one on the side. Not the octopus, the other one with the flames. It's kind of a cool like anime kind of look. Like I don't know, kind of dig it. But there are also a couple of incentives variants as well from a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 100 version of that cover A. We're just going to focus in on the 1 in 100 as the 1 in 25 is, right around ratio, a little above, a little below, a couple sales I saw. But the 1 in 100, I've seen one early pre-sale for $225. Whew. Meanwhile, the asking prices are $275 and $330. So once again, well above that ratio mark on this book, just like the Justice League. That doesn't mean that's where the prices are going to land. It's just what's being asked for right now. More copies may come to market come release day. So we will see what happens as the week goes on. But that's why they're on the watch list. This raises an alarm to me. Like, whoa, those are some big numbers. Let's see if those numbers get met or not. So we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, still on the Marvel side of things, we've got Spider-Boy finally paying off with more of this new Spider-Girl. So we're apparently going to get the origin of this Spider-Girl character. Yes, they kind of slow-played it over the last couple of issues where we got her first, but then her first like in costume and being actually Spider-Girl. And then now we're going to get the origin of her. So we'll see if this, again, pays off, plays out, if this continues to be a thing, or if this dies on the vine because it's a dumb idea. Who knows? Until we hear it, we don't know. That said, this issue also has another spoiler feature that was being teased for the past couple of months that was kind of ruined months ago because they showed the cover. So just know that it's not just Spider-Girl we're worried about here, but we will get the debut of Hulkette, another one of those new champion characters that got cover premieres, 2 years ago now? Something like that. So you got those first covers and then they never showed up again. Now they're starting to pop up in books randomly at this point. We go back to the Spider-Woman stuff where we had a group of them, and now we got a new champion series coming in, I think, next month or January. I think it's January. So got a new champion series coming that's going to star a lot of these characters. We'll see if this is a lasting thing or if this is just, more fluff. Who knows? And then we got another open order option there. There is an incentive on this book, but it is actually only a 1 in 10, which was interesting, instead of a 1 in 25. And they went with the design style. So here's the design of the Spider-Girl costume. And it's kind of a mix of Miles when he was a DJ, or not when he was a DJ, when he looked like a DJ. Remember when he had the stupid hood costume? I didn't really care for that, but interesting. You got the sneakers, you got the baggy pants. Kind of cool. We'll see. Again, we'll see how this character plays out. But with that said, let's also go over to the indie side of things and the Energon universe. As you all know, I am a big fan, as we are getting a new installment of Void Rivals this week. So I'm looking forward to this here, as well as we are getting a character who may not be my favorite, but I'm curious to see how this one also plays out. Cover A here. We have also got a pretty cool Chuma Hill on the B. I kind of dig that one. I usually get, again, this is how much I like the Energon universe. I'm usually get the A's and B's. Like automatically, I pre-order them in advance, so I'm paying like half cover. So basically, by paying cover price, I get both. So that's kind of what I do with my DCBS order. And then I occasionally will fill in with the incentive variants if I really like them. But the incentive variants in this case, I like them, but I don't know if I'm going to buy it. I do like that 1 in 50, but a 1 in 50 is a steep asking price for me. Like, I don't like throwing $50 or even like $30 or $40 on a variant on the week it comes out. I don't like doing it a lot unless I really, really like the book. And while I do like this cover, I think even put it in one of my picks as far as favorite variant coverage goes. I don't know if I can spend the money. But we got a 1 in 10, we got a 1 in 25, and like I said, a pretty cool Hot Rod 1 in 50. Again, Hot Rod was never my favorite. He was in the movie, but I always felt like it was kind of a forced root for this guy in Rodimus Prime when Optimus died. It was just, plus you killed Optimus on me in the movie, so I'm not going to go and buy in on his replacement. It was too raw of a wound. So maybe that's also another reason I'm holding it against it. Plus, the car wasn't that cool. And then even the transforming aspect of it, it wasn't a great toy. And Judd Nelson voicing him aside, right? Didn't he do the voice? I think it was Judd Nelson. It just didn't hit for me. So I was never a big Hot Rod or Rodimus Prime fan. But I kind of like this cover. That said, let's go back to the 1 in 10, because as you know, over every story arc in the Energon universe, the 1 in 10s form connecting covers. So far, we've got 2 installments in this current arc, and boom, there's last month's issue. So you got the Pythona, and then we got the the Void Rivals. I'm drawing a blank on the name for some reason, as I'm just babbling on here. So pretty cool that we've got these 2 connecting covers so far, and I'm not sure how long this arc goes, if it's going to be 5 or 6, but the 1 in 10s will continue a pretty cool mural as they've been doing this entire way. Now, with all that said, for those of you out there who haven't tried Whatnot before, now's your chance. Please use my link below to sign up and get yourselves a free $15 to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. No strings attached. You get to buy yourself something nice, and you'll help out the channel. So you really got nothing to lose by giving it a try if you haven't done so already. I think there's a lot of fun sales coming up too on the app this Black Friday. So if you're sitting at home, or if you're sitting around watching a boring football game like the Cowboys and the Giants this Thanksgiving, also maybe you just flip on your phone and take a look and see what auctions might be going off, because there might be cool collectibles at that time, and maybe not a lot of bidders because it's Thanksgiving. I don't know. I'm just speculating and thinking of things I'm going to do with my downtime. But get yourselves free $15 while you can. If you can. I mean, if you already got the app, unfortunately, I can't give you the free 15. It's only for new users, so new users, give it a try. That said, let's get on to my reading list. So these are the other books I can't wait to just read, because I like reading comics, like many of you out there. So with that said, next installment of Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, and the longest title ever. Don't care that the title's that long. Still want to read it. Still want to see where the story goes. So we've got a pretty cool Tim Sale cover A. We got Art Adams there in the middle, and then we got a Riddler cover there. Cool. No incentive variants, all open order. I think I might go with the Adams. I like the pumpkin. I wish Batman wasn't blocking so much of the pumpkin, but I do like the pumpkin. That said, in a surprise, for months, this has been on the Just Gotta Do It section, which are not necessarily the things I'm looking forward to reading, but it's like I just gotta do it. But Amazing Spider-Man has climbed its way off of the Just Gotta Do It list to my reading pile, as last, issue 61 with the new direction and the 8 deaths of Spider-Man was fun. I thought it was fun. I'm looking forward to this storyline. It's different. I don't need a new Spider-Man outfit, but that part of it aside, I like the idea of mixing Spider-Man with some of this more magical stuff to give me something a little bit different. I need a palate cleanse after all that Tombstone stuff, Gang War, and all the Goblin stuff that just, I don't know, it just wasn't grabbing me. So with that said, issue 62 here is coming out with multiple covers. This is the cover A. There's also a Black Cat cover, and then we got a Scotty Young, which ain't bad. Fun little, bug spray. Then we even got a couple of variants here to share with the Virgin 1 of 100, as that's what Marvel does, and a 1 of 25 option there as well. Looked up the prices, nothing really doing on these incentives, so if you want them, you can basically get them for ratio or less. Up next on the X-Men side of things, while not an X-Man, Mystique. I liked issue 1. I'm kind of curious to see where we're going with issue 2. I don't know if this will stay forever on my reading list because it was kind of so-so. I didn't love the first issue, but I liked it enough that I'm looking forward to reading issue 2 to see where the storyline is going. Looks like Avalanche, another one of those Brotherhood of Evil Mutant characters, is coming back to mix it up with Mystique. We have a cover A here. A couple other cool covers, including that Franny in the middle, which is awesome. I like that one. And then you got Destiny and, Mystique there over on the side as well. There is also a Virgin 1 in 50 of that Franny cover there in the middle. So we'll take a look at that real fast. As expected, there are some big asking prices, but no pre-sale so far. So I didn't see anybody paying any of these prices, but the asking prices are looking for $90 to $150 for a 1 in 50. Nobody's meeting that asking price, but that asking price is being asked for. So we'll see what happens. Up next, still got to read it, still got to do it, still on the reading list. Uncanny X-Men, number 6 here. I can't believe we're already 6 issues in. It's just speeding by all of a sudden. But back to school for 4 young mutants. We've got a cover A here. We got a Hughes there in the middle. We got a Gambit cover to mix in there as well. And then we can also take that Hughes, which is not my favorite. I will admit, I am an Adam Hughes fan. This cover here isn't my favorite. It's all right. But, I don't know. Something about it is just off. I don't know. Maybe it's like the weird focus he's doing on a lot of his art lately that it's not always hitting for me. And it's like her face seems out of focus and her jacket is in focus. And then the background's out of focus. But then that Sentinel's really hyper in focus. And then, I don't know. It's just something's just not hitting right for me. That said, there is a 1 in 100 version of that book as the incentive, as well as a 1 in 25. And we'll take a look at the 1 in 100. And as you can assume, and as you could probably guess, a 1 in 100 Hughes X-Men variant is going to do a little bit extra. So far, $150, $180 pre-sales, a $220.98 pre-sale. But asking prices are a little more palatable. $106, $140, $160. I'm mostly pointing to the 106. There are options that are closer to ratio as they're hitting, because don't forget, some of those early pre-sales, like they're just a couple people willing to pay big numbers. Doesn't mean that everybody is. So we need more data. We need more copies out there to see how this is going to play out for the entire market, not just what 2 or 3 people might be willing to do. Because while, I do the hot 10 list, as you all knew by now. So this work that I do here, and not only am I looking forward to the things that I want to read and I'm going to go purchase for this week, I'm also doing some pre-work for the hot 10 list. So giving you that sense that sometimes there's a lot of false flags can go up and you'd be like, oh, this book's over $180. It was pre-sale last week. Well, that was one. That doesn't mean it's $180 for everybody. But we'll see. We'll see how this plays out, just using this as an example. That said, our friends Tony and Tone I think they've wrapped up their grand tour around all the comic shops, but we are getting a new issue of Feral. So issue 8 of Feral comes out this week. So I'm looking forward to reading this and seeing where else they're going to go with this storyline. Cover A. And then we have the horror cover B, which is what I usually get. I always get the horror movie cover Bs as part of my pre-order pull. So that's the one I'm going to be grabbing. And then there are a couple of Virgins on the incentives with a 1 in 10 and a 1 in 25 if you are interested. Again, you can find these ratio or less most places if you want to go and pay that extra few bucks to get those Virgin covers. Now, another one of my favorite Image titles, Grommets, is coming near a close. This is the penultimate issue 6 of 7. Things are going sideways in a hurry here. The cover kind of leads you there. So we can kind of guess where we're going, but issue 6 of 7 coming out this week. Only one cover and then a 1 in 10 incentive as well. I believe I ordered the 1 in 10 incentive because I just wanted to get the rest of them. This one's not my favorite, but it's still kind of cool. That said, keeping an eye on it because what some of these have done, some of these have hit, some of these have missed. This particular one, early indicators are $13 to $20. Asking prices $13 to $25. we'll see. This feels like it's a book, and it's always been, and many of these 1 in 10s, as far like these Image 1 in 10s can go, as long as the series is semi-popular, it's like double ratio, and that's not a surprise. So wouldn't be surprised if this thing holds around $20 throughout the week. I'll be more surprised if it goes above that, but if it's like 15 to $20, I won't be shocked. But we'll see how it goes. Now, sticking with Image, but in the other corner of Image, that's not the Energon universe, the Skybound side of things. This is the Ghost Machine side of things. We're getting the next installment of Hyde Street. So I like the first issue. I like the horror. So we'll see where Jeff Johns and Ivan Reis. I don't know if I'm saying it right. See where they're taking us. But issue 2 is coming out. Looking forward to reading this. This is the cover A. There's a cover B, and I really like the Munch homage there. I think it's Edward Munch, the Scream. That painting. I think it's fun. I like it. I don't know which one I ordered. I probably just ordered Blind on the B cover, and I think the Munch is actually a C cover. But I don't know. I might go look for that one anyway, because I don't know. I like comic covers when they do classic art sometimes, and it's just kind of fun. So that said, it's just one of the things. You just got to do it. And speaking of things you just got to do, we all got to buy our bags and boards, boxes. It's not fun. It's not a fun expense, but we got to get that stuff to protect our collectibles. So when you're doing it, you might as well save some money. So if you need to buy some bags and boards, some top loaders, short boxes, long boxes, CGC boxes, even things for your cards, pages, whatever it might be, protect your collectibles. Use my link for BCW below and use my code RENA10 to save yourself 10% off, because even though you got to buy some of this stuff, you could save yourself some money while you do it. So there you go. Save yourself 10%. Use my code over at BCW to get those storage needs for you for all your collectibles. That's it. Sticking on the just got to do it topic, these are the books that I just got to get. Whether it be continuing my runs and collections, like regardless, Amazing Spider-Man used to be my example because I wasn't enjoying reading Amazing Spider-Man of late, but I had to keep getting the title to continue my collection. Now I'm enjoying it, so it's in the read pile. But that's the idea. These are books that I just got to do it. These are things I also might have fallen behind on reading, so I want to continue, make sure I have all the issues, so once I do catch up and read the story, I have them, as well as I might be already invested into a mini series. I'm just going to see it through to the end, things like that. So with that said, here we go. Detective Comics. Continuing my Detective Comics run. I've fallen behind. I've fallen behind a detective, admittedly. Even Batman I've fallen behind on now. It's just there's so many books, and the absolute out there. I only got so much free time to read, so I can't read everything. I will eventually catch up with some downtime and go back and read some stuff. But for right now, behind on detectives. So 1091, is that where we're at? Yeah. I just got to do it because I don't want to miss out. I don't want to have a gap in my collection. So 1091, got to pick that up. A couple other covers here. You got a Bisley there with all those little Joker heads, kind of fun. And there is a pretty awesome 1 in 25 here as well. So I don't know, I just dig the style. It's got that kind of like old school parchment paper, scratchy ink kind of vibe. I don't know. I dig it. I just like it. I like the last issue that was like this. I like this one too. But it is what it is. 1 in 25. You could find this for like half ratio in a lot of places, but definitely ratio and less. So nothing to report as far as early pre-sales go. Also in the Just Gotta Do It section, we have the next installment of Ultimate Black Panther. It's all right. It's still all right, but I got to catch up. Like, from what I read, it's all right, but I am probably, I need to read 8, 9, and 10 now. So I think I'm 3 issues behind. So I don't want to have that gap. I'm going to keep continuing it, but I am looking forward to this. Black Panther and the Strange Doctor. We'll see how this goes. So behind, got to get it anyway. Issue 10, a couple of covers here, meaning A and a B. And then we have a 1 in 25 incentive here as well. Now, up next, even though I've been crapping on this run and this series for a while, it's wrapping up. So the curious cat in me needs to know how this wraps up. So yeah, Venom War. Not been enjoying it or reading it because it's just too much Venom. Can't keep up. So many side stories and side minis and all this other stuff. It was too much. But it's ending. So I do kind of have to know who the last Venom standing is. I am kind of curious how they're going to wrap this up and give us our new gold chested whatever Venom, whatever. I just want to see how the storyline plays out at the end. But with that said, this is the cover A. There are a couple other options here where you got the Eddie and you got the Dylan covers with the two heads. Who's going to take the mantle? I guess we'll find out. Then we got the Peach and we got the I don't even want. You could see it. You could see it. And I don't even want to talk about it. But again, we're still getting this stupid horse. I mean, why is this a thing? It was in a trailer. And then it was in the movie. So great. Why are we still getting this? Why is it? This makes no sense. This makes no logical sense. How a horse with hooves would be using webs to swing through a cityscape. It makes no sense whatsoever. This, I said it before, and I'll say it again. This stupid idea has jumped the shark. I don't understand it. It's your guys' fault for buying it. Otherwise, they wouldn't keep making it. So I blame all of you, because it ain't me. I'm not buying this. I'm just playing around. That said, I don't like the idea. I'm not joking, though. I do think it is stupid. But hey, a lot of stupid things exist in comics, and a lot of stupid things I like exist in comics, but this is not one of them. That said, there is a 1 in 25. I'm surprised there aren't any higher ratio incentive variants. I figured with the wrap up, they would be doing a 1 in 100 version of this, that, and the other, and sneak peek and all. Nope, 1 in 25. Pretty cool. We'll see how that goes. This is in the Just Gotta Do It section because, again, I'm behind. I'm behind on reading, so I need to read, I think, the last couple issues. I need 5 and 6, so this is issue 6. I think I need to read the last 2. So Falling in Love and the Path to Hell, gotta catch up. So that's why it's here. Cover A and a 1 in 15 incentive by Noto, which is pretty cool, are your options on this one. No sales or asks that I can report, but this is the type of book that could be sneaky. And all of a sudden, it's double ratio plus, and then a copy sells for like $40, and then we don't see anymore for like. It's just one of those odd things. Some of these image titles, they don't have a lot of incentive variants out there, even with the low ratio. There's not a lot of them out there. They don't come to market a lot, or we don't see a lot of them move on the market. So we'll see what happens. That said, I also got to catch up on this title, Knights versus Samurai. I read the first issue, but I got to read issue 2 and 3. I will tell you, this looks really cool. Dragon, and we got pirate ships. We got a dragon. There's knights and there's samurai in here. I mean, pretty sure I'm going to enjoy this. I just got to catch up and reading it. But this cover, I dig it. I like it, and I actually like the B cover here too. Just awesome mask. So I don't know. Just got to catch up. That's all. This is just, again, one of those things. Just falling behind, which is why it ends up there. Otherwise, it'd be in my reading list. So I can't speak to what's going on in the book because I'm behind. So I don't know what's going on right now. But I am interested. And these covers have me even more interested. That said, let's take a look at what new stuff is coming out. So usually the biggest section of this show with these new number ones, because comic book companies apparently can't stop making new things. You think they're bereft of ideas, and everybody says, oh, there's no new ideas. And I get it. A lot of the stuff's rehashes or mashes up the characters, yada, yada, yada. But that said, still a lot of new books coming out every week, it seems. With that said, I've already covered a couple. I mean, we have Justice League Unlimited number ones coming out. That was already in the prior things I was saying to cover. Already covered some, but here's some more. Dark Horse, Serpent in the Garden, from the world of Hellboy. I was going to say, it looks like a Hellboy book because it's got the font and the text and the red border at the top. So from the world of Hellboy, we're getting another tale. $4. Cool. I haven't read a Hellboy book in a while, so I would be behind, but it's like a one-shot, it seems, or it's a one issue. So who knows? Maybe it's just a good, one-shot, one issue, a good story. Don't know. They're also giving us Welcome to the Maynard, which apparently to be some sort of hotel where the guests and staff have magic. So it's some sort of magical hotel. All right, maybe it could be fun. I don't know how silly it is or whatnot, but I could be interested. Maybe you give me like magic mixed with like a Grand Budapest Hotel. All right, I might be down. That said, cover A, B's and C's options here as well. No incentives, so pick the one that you like. Kind of like the B and the C, personally. I don't know, more so than the A. Like the A kind of looks like it's like Judy Jetson's first job, but I don't know. I think I like the B with the owl, and then I don't know. Her sitting on top of the luggage rack kind of fun too. Still kind of Judy Jetson's first job, but yeah, we'll see. See how it goes. That said, what else do we got? Oh boy, here we go. It's Christmas time, or it's coming. I mean, I know it's still November. Thanksgiving is still a few days away, But that hasn't stopped the Christmas trees from flooding the aisles at the department stores and the home goods stores, and Christmas music and even Christmas movies hitting on televisions all over the place. It's too early for me. My wife already started putting some of the decorations out. Nothing too egregious. There's no like Santas and anything. It's just like the, some of the blankets and things. The little knickknacks are starting to go up and out, but not a ton yet. I can deal with that. Even this Batman, Santa Claus, Silent Night Returns, at face value, I've got no issues. Okay, cover A. Tough looking Santa there on the cover B. Okay. Fun Robin sitting in front of their tree with all those little ornaments. Kind of like that. Fine. However, this book has a 1 in 25 incentive that just I find completely befuddling. Who asked for this? I don't have the section in here, but this one warrants it on its own.
WTF, Gary? WTF. What the fuck does WTF mean? What the fuck? Oh.
That's right. What is this? Who asked for this? Like, why do we need Magic Mike Santa? Who? Is this in the book? I don't get it. I don't know. I don't understand. Whatever. It exists, though. And I wouldn't be surprised if it gets to be pricey. I didn't even look. I didn't even want to look. We'll see at the end of the week. But this is the type of thing that, despite the fact that it hurts my soul to look at it, like, it's one of those things that some of those, like some of those none too pleasant looking Frank Millers, and you remember that X-Force cover. Some not great covers get popular because of how not great they are. This has a chance just because of the subject. I'm not saying the art here. The Kevin Wada art is not bad, but it's Santa Claus. Where's his shirt? Anyway, enough on that. There's also a 1 in 50. Bats coming out of the chimney. Kind of fun. You can get behind that. But yeah, so there's a 1 in 50 there as well. But I bet you the 1 in 25 will probably be the talk of the town for a little bit, or at least for a few giggles, a few laughs. That said, DC is also giving us this Black Canary Best of the Best series. So starting off something new with Ryan Sook doing the art and Tom King. Kind of interested in checking this out. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So it's Black Canary versus Lady Shiva to determine who's the greatest single hand-to-hand fighter in the universe. Interesting. I do dig the cover A. Ain't bad. There's a Nakayama cover here, as well as a cover that has basically every kind of look, I guess, that the Black Canary has had over the decades. So you got that option there as well. And then we do have a Chrissy Zulo 1 in 25, which is already doing a little bit of business. Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's kind of had that kind of a I don't know, like a not Powerpuff Girls, but just with the big head, the big eyes, the chibi. I guess that chibi kind of look a little bit. I mean, not completely, but a little bit. It's just giving me that kind of sense. That's it. Early sales on this already right around a little above ratio. We got some 20, 25s, but then starting to hit 30. The asking prices, though, are more in the $33, $45, $50 kind of range. So we'll see. This could be one of those DC double ratio type of incentives, which we were seeing a lot of like a year or two ago. Remember, DC would throw one of their female characters on a 1 in 25, and all of a sudden, $50 book, $50 book, $50 book. We may be getting back there again because they seem to be going back to that mindset, but we'll see. So far, that's what's being asked. Don't know if it'll be met. There is, however, a 1 in 50 option as well, which could undercut the 1 in 25 a little bit, but 1 in 50 option here if you're interested. It's all right. But this one, so far, $30 sale and a $90 sale. Inconsistent. Asking prices, well, they're pretty steep. $90, $120, $125. I don't know if those marks will get met, but they're out there. So we'll see what happens. Now, Marvel's not to be outdone. They also have new number ones coming your way this week. Starting off with the West Coast Avengers. Yes, I know we got the tease that maybe that's where they're going to go in the MCU in some fashion. Possible. We'll see what happens. That said, interesting squad lineup here. Ultron returns redeemed? I don't know. We'll find out, I guess, in this issue. Jerry Duggan doing this one. Here's the cover A. We've got a bunch of covers here too, just like Justice League Unlimited. It's like, well, Marvel's got a big team book and DC's got to have one too, or vice versa. It's like these two got to do the Dante's Peak Inferno, Armageddon Deep Impact fight. It's like, all right, big team book. Where's our big team book? That said, I'm looking forward more to the Justice League one than this one. Never been a huge West Coast Avenger fan. That's just me. But that said, here are the other options. There's A, we got B's and C's. That's a fun callback to New Avengers 1 with the lightning and the whatnot. But we've also got a Saturday morning cartoon variant. We got like an art style variant there. We also got a Hughes foil, which again, it's all right, but not loving it. Not loving it. I don't know. It's kind of an awkward pose. Like, I don't know. To me, it's just like, I don't know what she's doing. Do we catch her doing something? Should you just do one of those turnarounds to take my picture? I don't know. Just don't love this one. That said, we're not done. We still have more. We got a Ji Hung Lee, I believe, there, and we got an Art Germ in the middle. Both of those are really nice. And then we got a huge kind of team lineup there with that dude down front. Don't know who that dude is, but we'll find out soon. And I'm going to get to that in a minute because we also have some incentive variants to get to. We've got versions of those two really nice covers that I like. 1 in 100, 1 in 50, and a 1 in 25 Ultron from the What If. Remember? From the What If animated show? Got the cape and everything. Cool. Let's look at the 1 in 50 and the 1 in 100 individually, though, because those are already doing a little bit of movement. So the 1 in 50 first, 45 to 55. Right around ratio. But the asks, well, we'll see. There are some around ratio at about $50-$55, and then there's some $99.99 asks. So looking for up to 100. We'll see what happens. With the 1 in 100 Art Germ out there, it also kind of gives it some competition. There's people fighting for which cover they want. Maybe they can get both. Maybe they can afford both. I don't know. I can't. I'm not buying either. I'm getting trade dress, and I'm fine with that. But 115, 120, 130 with some early pre-sales, but those were some early pre-sales, meaning those go back to September, and October. Asking prices right now, there's one for right under ratio at about $99, and then we got 135 and $200. So we will see where this one kind of hits. Now, getting back to that weird vested character who looks like a white-haired version of LA Knight. Well, maybe just the vest. But here we go. I don't know about the cowboy boots, though. So maybe he stole Cameron Grimes' look instead. That said, there's a 1 in 10 design cover for Bolt here. The blue Bolt. I mean, it's just there. I just didn't fit in the other earlier in the deck, so I put it here. But the one you want to do keep an eye on is this one here in the middle, because this is the one per store, kind of a secret release. You know how Marvel's been doing that occasionally. They just drop in these polybagged one per stores, or one per account, I should say, because you could potentially get more than one. At least that's how the other books work. So I'm thinking it's more like that. So, meaning the one per account thing. So some stores could get more than one copy, because if they have a Penguin Random House where Marvel is shipped and distributed through directly, they might get one through there. Then they also might have a Diamond account, because they have a Diamond account to get other books like from Image and one of the other companies, etc. But Marvel still through them too, so they can get one through there from Marvel as well. So they could get more than one. See it happen. That said, the one per store book here. I'm sorry, I didn't grab the right prices, but it is already doing a little bit of action. I'm sorry, the prices are kind of eerily similar. It's right around the 30 to kind of up to $50 kind of asks and payments. So we'll see what happens. And that's kind of what happened before. But sorry, the display's not showing it, but I forgot to do the update there. Sorry, I just don't want to go back. It's already Monday. I want to get this out. That's it. Plus, we're 38 minutes in already. Man, I better pick up the pace. That's it. Stitches. So, if you guys have been keeping up with Keenspot. Keenspot's been kind of an interesting publisher of late, because one, they got monsters, and then they hit us up with what was it, the Killers? I can't remember what it was called now. They were just like 2 weeks ago. But it was another one of the clicks there. Lipstick Clique, going back to this Blood World thing. So this is another group, another one of the posses in there. This is the Stitches. So get another story, a look at them and the attention to Papa Duke and this Blood World. It's a weird little story. It's not the greatest, but it's kind of entertaining. I'm kind of interested in it. So I'm just kind of seeing it through. That was a Night of the Cadillacs, kind of starting there. But anyway, the Stitches, number 1. There's the cover A. There's a pretty cool B cover there. It's just awesome look there with the skull. Even there with the mask and the other skull is not a bad cover. Both of those, and then you got a sketch cover. Then we mix in the premium priced books. So there is a flip foil version there of that flaming skull in the middle, and then there is a metal cover that's also really cool art, but it's only available there, I guess, there on the metal. But yeah, so you got that one there too, but it's $100. And then there is a 1 in 20, which I think is also another flip book, and it has the version of the cover A, and I'm not sure what's on the backside, but there is a 1 in 20 of that as well. It's just something to keep an eye on if you're interested. I'm probably gonna get that flaming skull one in the middle that pointed, and then they had the foil version, but probably just get the regular one because, like I said, I'm just kind of curious of the story. I've already bought in, so I just want to see where it goes. It's like almost like I just got to do it read, but it's here in the new number 1s because this is a new number 1. But with that said, we've got something else here out of Mad Cave. So Mad Cave's given us Synap. It's the year's 2030, family-run private defense company Synap secretly puts together probably some sort of Ghost in the Shell, Appleseed type of story. I don't know. I'm just guessing based off of what's there. But there you go. Pretty cool cover A. There is a B cover option as well if you're interested in that. But giant mech, cute-looking girl. I'm sure some people pick it up. I don't know if I could pick this one up because, again, I'm already in this week for quite a bit of money. If you've gone through what I've already had on my picks list and all that stuff. So I don't know if I got too much extra to be thrown around, but we'll see. Hornsby and Halo coming out of Ghost Machine is another new number 1 from their side of things. So I have to check this one out too because Ghost Machine haven't let me down so far. We'll see. This one doesn't come at me as my favorite topic. I'm going to, I'm really ready for this setup, but we'll see how it is. Good versus Evil from the minds of Peter J. Tomasi and Peter Schneersberg. I don't know. We'll see. Good and Evil. Okay. Is this going to be like Good Omens? I don't know. We'll see. Couple of covers here. Cover A. We've got a B cover. We got a sketch cover. And then we also got some incentives for you if you want those. You got a 1 in 25. You got a 1 in 50. If you want to go and spend that extra bit for those. So there you go with that option. Up next, we have what I believe is coming out finally this week, because this is another one of those things. There's a couple books this week that kind of pushed and pushed and pushed. So I don't know for certain if they're coming out this week, but it looks like that's the case. And this is out of Wake, which is, I believe, the Torpedo. I think they do like a Essentia. Dead Samurai. All I know is this is a pretty cool Sienkiewicz cover. I think it's, Bill Sienkiewicz, right? Yeah, I think it's Sienkiewicz cover here. On the cover A, and there's a pretty sweet, I don't even know if I'd call this a B cover or not, because some places are calling this an incentive. Others are just calling it a B cover. All I can tell you is there were some early pre-sales that, or some asking prices that were kind of out of pocket. Like, not out of pocket, but like it priced like it's a 1 in 25, that Samurai there with all the zombies. Meanwhile, like I said, I think this is at a Torpedo. So if you are that interested, you can go directly to their site. And I believe the cover A is $6. And I think the B cover, or whatever this is $10. I think. At least the last one I looked, that's what it was. So if you're interested, you could look there. But I think these will be hitting shelves this week. That's the other thing. Sometimes with the odd publishing like that, it's like it's available, but I don't know exactly when. And when it's available everywhere. And it's like, all I know is it caught my eye. I saw it. It is available. So keep an eye out for it. Maybe it'll hit your shop this week. That said, that's it actually for the number 1. So woo. Look at that. We can move on to all the weird variants. And we don't have a ton because we're wrapping up the month of November. So the Thing variant for this month, we're getting the final couple. Granted, there's still one coming like December 18th, but we'll get to that when we get there. But for this week, we have a really weird Dazzler cover. This is aggressively not for me. I don't want this. But I'm sure somebody out there will like it. I know there's you Thing fans out there. You're getting them all. And I can see the appeal if you're a fan of Thing, because she does look like the Thing. But other than that, and the disco ball aspect's kind of fun. But other than that, I don't need this personally. But that's just me. I think the Iron Man homage here is pretty fun on Iron Man 2. But yeah, again, I'm probably not getting it. But it's out there. I get it. So was it Iron Man 106? With him getting suiting up? I think it's 106. I got the, hold on, 126. Sorry. It used to be one of those big comic book, like, not really posters, like stretch canvas league kind of reprinty things. It used to be in my son's room, but now he didn't want all the comic booky stuff. So I got it stashed here in the room. Maybe I'll put it up in here at some point. But anyway, that original Iron Man cover was one of them. It's 126. Number sounded familiar. That said, the last one coming out this week is Spider-Boy. Yeah, okay. So Spider-Boy with big feet and big hands. Cool. Fun. All right. But like I said, that's it for this list until Fantastic Four 27 on the 18th of December. And I think it's a She-Hulk one. So that's the last one that'll be coming. We'll get to that when we get there. Meanwhile, let's finish up the Thing 2-in-1s because we're getting those as well. So I couldn't find the final image of the ASM 62 one, but it is an homage, at least the art part that they're showing us in the preview image is from issue 26 of 2-in-1, but it's Fury instead of Spider-Man on the original. Then we're also getting, again, I couldn't find the final art for the Incredible Hulk 800 version, or 19, I guess is the current number. I go by the legacy numbering of 800, but Hulk 19, cool. Eerily and weirdly enough, it's Rom in the Thing on the original, and that's just kind of strange. Like, this seemed like a cover I've seen before. Like, I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's going to be Hulk back to back with the Thing. And I look, I'm like, no, it actually goes to the Rom Thing cover. But all right, cool. And then the last one coming out is this one, which is with the Thing with the Uncanny X-Men, going back to issue 51 of the original 2-in-1 thing there. But he mostly had like the West Coast Avengers before they were the West Coast Avengers, I guess. So there you go. Avengers Assemble, but it's like Wonder Man and Beast and, you know, what have you. A gathering of heroes. Still, I like these. These were kind of fun. I like when they do these kind of throwbacks, callbacks to original covers. But that's the end of the run here for that one. So, meanwhile, we're in the midst of a sort of semi-series. I didn't see a list of how many of these we're getting, but we're just randomly getting these Kraven covers. This time out on Spider-Boy, we're getting, so on Spider-Boy 13, we're getting this Kraven cover as well. So it was just popping out of the grave. Cool. You know, you remember from like old previous stories and what have you. I know the movie's coming soon, so that's why they're doing it. I just don't know the timing of when they're going to stop or how many more they have planned. Because I've looked, but I didn't find a solid source yet. That said, Stormbreakers. So I guess we're getting, this is the final Stormbreakers for November cover. And from what I gathered before, it was all like those death issues or characters who had died. And on this time, we have the Maestro sitting there all alone in a dead world on, again, Hulk 19/800. So that's our final Stormbreaker for November. And then we'll see what next month's offerings are. For early indicators, when I was flipping ahead, I saw some Human Torch stuff. So I don't know if we're getting some Human Torch covers or what the theme might be for next month, but we'll figure it out. We also get our last Absolute Doom Fortnite cover because, yeah, Marvel decided that there was a few of these this month. But this is the final one. So on Spirit of Vengeance number 3, we get this. It's Ghost Rider, because apparently, I don't play Fortnite. I just don't. It's more after my time. If I play any online thing like that, it's usually Call of Duty. But yeah, so apparently there's a Der Burger character and Ghost Rider. You mash them up, and we've got Ghost Rider. So I mean, you got Wolverine and Banana, you got Ghost Rider and a burger. I guess this is what we're doing, folks. Cool. Kids these days. Creature Commandos. So our final Creature Commando cover, because the animated series starts in next week, I think. Yeah, so final cover here. Weasel and I guess it's Robot Man. It's GI Robot, or I don't know what. I forget what the character name might be. I might be confusing with like Junkyard Joe over on the Image side of things. But Superman 20 has this final cover for the Creature Commandos. So yeah, if you were collecting those, this is your last one. I think there's only five or so of these. I got a short coming later in the week that'll cover all of them. So take a look at that if you're interested. That said, the Marvel Multiverse McFarlane toy covers. So I don't know if this is it, because again, I never saw a list. And they had like one, and I said, I wonder if this is going to be a thing. And then we got a couple of weeks where they were throwing like 3 at a time. And this week, we got another 3. So on Batman Brave and the Bold number 19. We got this Batman 66 action figure cover with a couple other, action figures in the background. They're just, it's like Toy Fair. And again, if this was in Toy Fair, I'd be more apt to be interested. But on a $5.99, $4.99 comic, I'm going to prefer actual comic book art over any of these. Personally. Just saying. Don't know how you all feel. Because this is kind of cool. Seeing like a Frank Miller Batman jumping at you on Detective 1091. But push comes to shove. On the shelf, I see this. And I see art. Even the Bisley with the Jokers. Even I'm grabbing that one. Because I like comic art. That said, one more. We have this Nightwing 120. Nightwing I had a tough spot putting because he's not technically my just got to do it. And I'm not reading it currently, but I kind of want to read it. Kind of got to get back into it. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a new section of things I should be reading. Because I know a lot of you are out there reading it and liking it. It's just, again, time for me. But Nightwing 120 has this Batman the Animated Series fight there with a bunch of their figures. So, cool. Getting to that, we have covers. These are just a few covers that I like, just randomly intermixed in titles that I may or may not be reading right now. One, Action Comics. I cannot, oh no, this is Superman 20. Sorry, I thought it was going to be an Action Comics. Because Action Comics going like weekly, I can't keep up. That weekly pace, I am not going to be able to keep up. It was bad enough when Spider-Man went to like 3 times a month. I can't do weekly. It's too many books. That said, Superman 20, it's a Dan Panosian cover. He is one of the best artists out there right now. Like, he's just killing it with his covers, and I dig this one. I like it. But there's also a pretty fun 1 in 25 on this book as well. It's like one of those old ads that you would find inside the book. Like, hey, get your 3D glasses, Superman Heat Vision, whatever. Fun. I don't know, this is a fun cover. I like it. It's got that look of the old paper and everything. 1 in 25. I didn't know where to put this one either, but I do like the cover. So this is Iron Man 2. Not really into reading this. I read issue 1. I probably will read issue 2, but I'm not looking forward to it, nor do I have to get it. It's more of I probably will end up reading it. But here we go. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I don't know. I don't know if I'm on board or not. It's just I'm still on the fence, but I do like this cover. This is the cover A, and I do like the 1 in 25. I'm not going to be throwing money at them because I just don't have it. You can't get everything, but I do kind of like it. I like the design. It's pretty cool. The look back over the shoulders, kind of nifty. But yeah, so Iron Man 2, the 1 in 25 is also kind of a cool cover. Now, I am getting this because I do pre-order these way ahead of time because I do like the anthologies here with Hello Darkness, but I like this cover A. It's another Rivera. Killing it on the cover A's on this series, but not to be outdone. Jenny Frizen's also been doing the B's, and I've been enjoying those as well. And I forget who did the third one there, but that's a creepy as hell cover as well, with just the disembowelment on the table. Just saying, all pretty good cover options. I don't think you can really make a wrong choice, but I would probably go 1, 2, 3 from A, B, C, reverse down the line. So 3, 2, 1, I guess, as my personal rankings. That said, also just getting to it and wrapping up Creepshow issue 3. Regular cover here on the cover A, pretty awesome. I like the detail art here. I like the of the grit and grime and just the rotting flesh. I like it. Like the detail. And then they've got the fun 1 in 10s of these Creepshow Illustrated, these old Norman Rockwell-esque type sports scenes, but with zombies and creatures. It's fun. It's fun. Here, they're playing ice hockey this time. All right. Let's get to later prints, and I think I need a little bit of water to get the instrument working here. All right, so a lot of things to do here in the later printing section too. Starting off with Absolute Wonder Woman, the Noir edition. Yeah, so we got to have a black and white version of that issue 1 because they have a reason and need to sell that to us. I don't know. I don't need this, nor do I need multiple versions of it. So here is Noir Edition 1. There is also a black sketch cover and a foil version cover of black and white art. Like, why make black and white foil? I don't get it. I don't know. But they're doing it. Now, also, if you just want the regular second print, you can get the regular second print too, because they're giving you that this week as well, with also multiple cover options. Not a good idea. This is overkill, guys. I've said it before. We don't need multiple covers on. I'm starting to come to terms with the incentives on later printings. Like, I don't want to keep complaining about it. I still don't know if they're needed, but I've come to live with it. I'm really struggling with the multiple covers on the later printings, though. Like, there's just so many covers, so many bites at the apple they're trying to get out of your pockets. And I say your pockets because they ain't getting me. Because I just got the cover. I got the first print. I don't need any more. But here's the second print. For those OCD compulsive collectors, got to have every copy, every version, every whatever. They're getting you because they got a cover A. They've got a cover B second print. They've got a foil second print. And I do appreciate that this would be an opportunity. Well, not really, because you could just get the trade dress version of the decal. I mean, yes, the 1 in 50 was another version of it that you could have paid up for a little bit, but now there's a foil version of it. Don't know if that's necessary, nor do we really need a black and white version of the cover A as our 1 in 25, but we're getting it anyway. That's it. That's, sorry, 7 versions of this same comic book that are reprints coming out this week. Yes, issue 2 is coming out. So yes, if you didn't get issue 1 the first time around, plenty of opportunities to get it so you can read both issue 1 and 2 together. But do we need 7 covers of it to do so? Maybe not. Just saying. Just saying. But here we go with the 1 in 25 incentive. $20 sales, $35 sales. Inconsistent. Asking prices, $21, $45. Inconsistent. Are people willing to pay more? Because, well, their second print later printing and their incentives on later printings, it's going to be a lot less. It's going to be the lowest printed copy. How you'll hear all the arguments in the world for people trying to justify things. You spend your money how you want to spend it. Just saying. Right now, even the ask and what's available and what's been paid for is inconsistent. So we'll see what happens. Don't want to put it all on DC and don't want to put it all on Wonder Woman because, well, we're getting the third print treatment out of Batman. And yes, Absolute Batman will give you a cover A third print, a cover B third print, and a foil third print, which makes it easier since they're giving you multiple cover options for stores to buy multiples. I guess that's part of it to qualify for the incentive 1 in 25 third print. This is kind of fun. This is from the poster. Cool. I don't know though. Still not going to be me. But $50, $60 early pre-sales. People are paying for it. Meanwhile, asks, well, $32, $50 and $60. So we'll see where it lands. Come Wednesday. Then we got some indie second prints for you guys. If you missed the first issues, you can get a second bite at the apple here from Invader. This is Animals, #1. I don't know much about this title, but it's got a second print coming. I also don't know much about Banshees at a Scout, but they've got a second print coming. They also had a bunch of new #1s too, but I just didn't have it in me to cover them all because I wasn't personally interested in them. So I just decided to skip them because there was a lot. That said, Boom, also second print here for The Creeping Below. #1, it's like a black and white version of one of those covers I believe they released before with the tree, whatever. Ghost Machine doing the mustard yellow second printings as they've been doing for all their second printings. So for Devourer, it happened on Hyde Street, one shot, solo, whatever. That story, it's got a second print. There you go, mustard yellow cover. And then here's another one. I'm not 100% sure if it's coming out this week because I got conflicting information looking at like Diamond and Midtown and a couple of places, Tifa, things from another world. Looked around. I can't say with 100% certainty it's coming out this week, but it looks like it is. And that is Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, #1, the second printing. Cool. Also, 1 in 25 incentive. I like that. I like the original 1 in 25 too. Version of this is kind of nice, but I don't know if it's necessary, but it's out there. But it looks cool. It's a cool piece of art. I tried to get pricing and I couldn't find any listed or sold yet. So again, I think it's coming out this week, but it could be delayed. I'm not sure. Still a cool cover. Though I'm probably not going to get it because it's a second print incentive, and yeah, it is what it is. Meanwhile, you could probably find, and I looked actually, I've been hemming and hawing over a $6 version of the first one in 25 that has a trade dress. It's like $6, and I'm like, I don't even need that. So don't always go rushing new incentives just because you feel like you have to have. Don't let FOMO take hold if you're on the fence, because sometimes you can get them for a lot cheaper if you just wait. Sometimes you might miss out and they go up. That's a game you got to play. It's something you got to be comfortable and a chance with, you're worth taking. But here we go with another second print. Storm #1. I did the spoiler show review for issue 2. Kind of quick recapped issue 1. Pretty fun issue 1. I like the series. Even the writer chimed in and was glad that you and me all are enjoying the series. I'm looking forward to what he's got planned for this Storm series. He assured me that we will be getting back to that Eternity bit that is teased here at the end of this issue. So looking forward to that. So with that said, second print, get it if you missed out. And then there is a 1 in 25 incentive because I think they just wanted to try to sell you some more Campbell art, even though this is that the fun. Remember the Dazzler variants from like October? I think it was October. Yeah, that's what we're getting for the 1 in 25 on this one. So you got Disco Storm. It's fun. No copies have sold of that actually, but asking prices are pretty steep because it's a Campbell and it's a second print incentive. So wasn't surprised to see their high asking prices, but I was surprised to see they're asking $95, $200, and $225. We'll see. I don't think so. I mean, that one's it's got a $50 starting bid. Doesn't even have the starting bid yet. So I don't even know if 50 is what the market wants to pay yet. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But sticking with the idea of Campbell and getting to our final segment, which will be the Cheesecake covers for this week, let's take a look. We do have a few. We have a couple of Power Girl covers here. This is the cover A. And yeah, I really like, there's a call, and I forget who did the one in the middle, but it's awesome. I like it. I dig it. There's 3 Power Girl covers for no incentive on Power Girl this week, or this issue. So that issue 15, pick the cover you like. Then we've got, I didn't give you all the covers for Harley, but there's an Akiyama right there for you. For Harley, even though it's not cheesecakey, I like the throwback noirish type of cover, so I just throw them in here anyway. And then there's a 1 in 25 in here as well. Again, if you want them, open order, you can find them. 1 in 25 evens ratio or less, so it's not doing anything crazy as far as I'm aware of yet, but something to keep an eye on. You never know. There are a couple Dazzler covers that aren't the thing. And here's one that's kind of fun, her blowing a kiss, so put it in here. Then we have this Antarctic Press giving us Cayman America, Faith of Our Father. I don't know. I don't know what the series is. I don't know what's inside this book. I don't know what the guts are, what the story is, but that's a Cheesecake cover, so that's why it's here. It's there for the cover, and there is a B cover option or incentive, more premium. I don't know. I think it costs more this second cover. So yeah. So I think it's like one of those premium editions where it's like Antarctic kind of does the same thing that Keen Spot is also doing at times, where they're paying. There's like a premium edition. So this out of the box costs, $10, $15, or $20. I'm not even sure on this one. I think it's like a 10 and the regular is 6, but I'm not 100% on my pricing right there. It's just the idea. I'm pretty sure the blank one or the virgin one in the middle costs more. Then we got this Tibby and her time traveling psychedelic mushrooms. I have no idea what this is out of Antarctic, but again, it's here for this cover. This is a Cheesecake cover. That's why it's here. Meanwhile, it does have a more expensive psychedelic cover. I think this one's $10 for the psychedelic cover version. And you can see, yeah, that's why it's here. It's a Cheesecake cover. I can assume the guts are probably mostly Cheesecake as well, but I don't know for certain. Because, well, one, it's not out yet, but I don't have no history with this character or title. So it is what it is. Meanwhile, Zenoscope is giving us Grim Fairy Tales number 90. Wow, 90 issues. Yeah, there you go. Cover A. I think it's Snow White. I think it's Snow White in the cover. Then we got some other cover options here. A couple of cool ones. Like the one in the middle, and then over on the side with the glasses. It's kind of a fun look. And then the one in the center will make it a little bit more risque, and that will be the 1 in 20 option for you. So as you know, with those, it's a niche collectible, and you may have to pay a premium if you want to jump into that market. Just saying. But it's out there. Not many, but they're out there. Meanwhile, they've really gone in and called, and now it's Thundercats Chitara. Because remember when Chitara had the title, it was just Chitara. Now it's Thundercats Chitara, because I don't know if it was doing well enough on her own. I've not read this since the first issue, which I did not really care for, but we got a couple more covers because it's just Chitara. Boom, in the middle, the lyrics leads, not bad. But a couple options there. Red Sonja out of Dynamite. As you know, you're going to have multiple options here with Perillo. You're going to get a Linzer. You got a Bjorn Barons. And then we also got a cosplay option too there mixed in. So then out of all these, you'll have virgin versions and black and white versions and all the different variations that you may want or not want. They'll be out there. But we're just looking at the first regular cover versions just for our purposes here. And we will wrap up with a facsimile reprint of Betty number 8. Yeah. So Betty doing that underwater dive. There are multiple exclusives as well. I was surprised to see there was no incentive on this, because usually they kind of do stuff like that. But no, just the facsimile. So if you want this, or you can go dig for the original. The original does all right if you can find it. You're not going to get rich. But you might do all right. Maybe make a few bucks if you find it like in a cheap box. The original Betty number 8 for this cover, but this is the facsimile, and there are, like I said, some store exclusives where some artists have redone the art, which is also kind of fun. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, so if you're into that kind of thing, that stuff is out there. And with that all said, that's all I got for you this week. That's the list. That's my rundown. So thank you for all the support for the channel. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And let me know what books you were looking most forward to this week in your comments down below. And do the whole like, subscribe, check out everything else here on the channel. I'm going to try to keep as close to a regular schedule as I can this week, but it is Thanksgiving week, so some things might be a little off, but you can bet I will not miss the Hot 10 at 9 o'clock every Friday without fail for you guys. So with that all said, I'll see you all later with some more content. All right.